Hi everyone, welcome back again. I want to talk about instructions this time. I think one of the things that I really spend some time on and really try to make sure I'm very clear about are the instructions, because if you don't have really clear instructions for your students, it makes it hard for them to do exactly what you want to do. So I try a couple of things. I want to show you a couple of things that I do. One, I'm going to show you the same two assignments I showed you in the rubric in the rubric section. But for this one, let's just talk about some of the assignments and or the assessments and how do they look. So again, starting with the partnership toolkit assignment, I like to add in something like this that gives you a quick little summary of what's going to happen and what they're going to do, as well as the purpose of the assignment. Why is this important? I like to add in if there are specific requirements. I also put the link to the rubric here, as well as if there were resources they need, I would add them here as well. Another thing that I like to do is, especially for this one, this was the first assignment, I always like to include my little video with my little Telegami girl in there talking about the assignment, really giving them a little bit more information than I normally would give, but they get to hear in my words what I would want them to do and how they should kind of tackle this assignment. And then from there, again, more detailed instructions about what they're going to do and how they're going to do it, breaking it down even more to, creating it, what does it look like, specifying exactly what's a part of each, segment of the assignment. In this case, they're creating their toolkit, they're creating page 1, they're also creating page 2. So I like to make sure that they understand very clearly what I'm asking. The other thing that I will tell you that I do is, as we continue to work with this, and each semester I'll go in and I'll look at the student comments, I'll look at their assignments to see, okay, is there a common theme? Is there somewhere where they're missing things? And then I go back in and I tweak the directions based on student feedback and the questions that I receive. So if I get several emails or if I get several Slack messages about an assignment, I know that the directions weren't as clear as they should be. So I'll go back in and make some changes and add, some other information just to make it clearer. So let me show you another one, the directions that we use. Again, that same top box, but you'll notice in this one, we actually have in the resources, we have the template that we want them to use. If you have a certain way that you want the students to do something, make sure you add a template in for them. So that way it makes it a little bit easier, or maybe an example of something you want them to see. If you use an example, just keep in mind that everyone that looks at it, students are going to think that that's the way you want the assignment. So make sure that assignment or that assessment that you're using is definitely the one that you want. And I'm interchanging assessment and assignment together because I don't do a lot of tests in my courses. I do more assignments that lead towards what I want them to do. Again, in this area, we created a help center for our assignments and assessments, so that way students knew exactly what we wanted and they could get other help in the help center. But again, this one follows the same structure I showed you before, a nice overview of what we want them to do, breaking it down into details, looking at explaining the template, what's in the template, putting the link to the template there. And in this one, we actually tell you how we want you to submit it, because for this one, they're building their portfolio, which is the assessment tool. So it's going to go in the assessment, it's going to go in their portfolio, as well as they have to put the link into Canvas for me. There's also in this one a little bit extra credit that I showed you before. So again, with your assessments and your assignments, creating those directions, the goal is to make it as clear as possible. And it's easy for them to follow as possible. So sometimes it takes a couple semesters for those directions to kind of balance out the way that you would hope they would. So give yourself some time and some space to make sure, but watch what your students are saying. And then also, as you go in and grade, see where there are some downsides, because you might need to go in and tweak those directions to make sure that they're clear. All right, I'll see you in the next video.